guys ready?
Yeah, I'm gonna stir back here.
Day 12, Stir of Echoes. I watched Stir of Echoes with Fletcher. These are my friends from the podcast.
Hello, hello, hello.
And live.
What's up, everyone?
What's up?
Yeah, so we're going to talk about Stir of Echoes. I was pleasantly surprised. I really enjoyed this movie. Fletcher had to kind of talk me into it.
Yeah, a little bit, but that's like fucking Kevin Bacon.
Yeah. I don't know. Kevin Bacon's hit or miss for me.
Yeah.
I know you guys like him in his more eclectic roles. You know.
Trimmers.
I like Trimmers. I like X-Men First Class.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Hollow Man.
I'm talking about
Oh.
I'm talking about the one where...
The fucking.
yeah.
The Sleepers.
Yeah, I'm talking about...
Oh, fuck. I forgot all about that movie.
Which I could watch that. Could that be
My
considered
knee's
a horror
killing me.
movie?
I would think so. Yeah.
But either way, we watched Stir of Echoes, and I really liked it. I went into it not really knowing what the fuck they were going to do. And don't worry, we can spoil the fuck out of this movie because it's old.
Let's do this.
Yeah. Go for it, man. It's your thing.
It basically, Kevin Bacon's character gets hypnotized by his sister-in-law, and touch it.
I also want to say
So cool.
It has been sitting in my car.
the whole time Kevin Bacon is acting as this character, he's doing a great Chicago dog action.
Yeah, just moved into town, but yeah, got hypnotized. Lives in a very close neighborhood. Good friends. He gets hypnotized and becomes a beacon to the afterlife.
He didn't believe that shit.
Didn't believe into it. Yeah, didn't believe any of it. Didn't things... I don't know, this movie was way trippier than I was expecting.
I'm glad they also didn't leave in as much, like, I don't know, I wasn't into the hypnotizing thing at first, and then, like, but, like, I don't know, it being, like, a good way to get to the ghost was okay and stuff, but, like, yeah, did you know Kevin Spacey was in this movie?
You can't glad you know shit.
Yeah, Ian disappeared. But yeah, Kevin Spacey
Kevin
Jr. is
Spacey's in this movie as a child.
I didn't really catch on to it. I just thought, oh, this was Haley Joel Osment's, like, rival.
Nope.
At the time, I went into this movie thinking that, because this, I don't know, it was kind of Sixth Sense. I don't know.
It had Sixth Sense vibes. This was overshadowed because it came out the same year as Sixth Sense. And I think it's a better movie, personally.
Yeah.
Dude, definitely, like, in, like, going back on both movies and watching them as an adult and stuff, I would probably give this the nudge over The Sixth Sense now.
Agreed.
In my 30s.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But yeah, I waited until this year to watch this movie, since I'm trying to do movies I haven't seen.
I was surprised you'd never seen this, in all honesty, because I feel like it was right up your alley.
I'm honestly surprised Hudson hasn't seen it.
No,
I am too.
I'm surprised I've never seen it as well.
Didn't you say you had a book by the guy that wrote this? Because in the opening credits...
Oh, yeah, Matheson.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
I think it's like Haunting of Hell House.
Mm.
Or is this Hell House? You ever read that?
No, I have not.
Alright, basically, and just seeing his name attached to it is pretty much what sold me. Because in the one book of his I read, the way they basically beat the ghost that's just destroyed their whole team, they laugh at him and they tell him he's got a little penis. and he gets fucking mad and he leaves and the haunting's over. They win at the cost of several people's lives, but that's literally how that book pretty much ends. They laugh at his tiny, deformed manhood.
That'd make me fucking...
I was kind of expecting something kind of dumb and silly in this movie. I did not get that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this movie is...
I kind of guessed some of it.
Yeah.
It kind of freaked me out, man. It was pretty scary, dude. Like, cause just getting into like, cause he gets hypnotized and then fucking like he starts seeing like, you know, oh shit, there was some little girl. He starts asking about some little girl, and they were like, yeah, you know, like she got murked and shit around here, and he was like, I know, I think I'm seeing it, and like, that's pretty scary.
What I'll say, just my short little bit on it, is I thought that this was very a very good telling of like something like this happening where you could be a beacon to a ghost. I feel like it was grounded really well and felt kind of like what it would probably be like really for a real person.
Definitely grounded for sure.
It didn't get too crazy. It didn't get too haunty.
I wanted it to get crazier. It didn't.
I thought it was gonna get crazier when I was a kid. That's why I was like, man, this movie. It's not the same.
I just mean it got realistically crazy, like digging up the entire fucking yard.
Realistically.
Dude.
And this son of a bitch. I don't know what year this book came out. I don't know if this is from the book or they just did this part for the movie. But they straight up rip off The Shining.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have a whole, like, when...
You can do it, too.
Basically, like, damn, boy, you shine! They had that whole fucking scene.
Okay.
Like, even down to the whole, like...
Old Neil.
Yeah, I can't think of the guy's name from The Shining, the old cook.
Oh, Catman Carruthers, but I can't remember his name in it either.
But the whole, like, he calls him Doc. And they're like, how'd you know his name was Doc? They basically pull that shit in this movie, and I was just like, what in the fuck? Like,
Oh, that's weird.
Dude, I also thought
it looked shameful.
I also thought it was weird how they were all like Legos people in the one I watched Stir of Legos.
Ian.
So mine was a little different, especially when the body popped out of the fucking wall. Like that was another part that was legit scary.
I thought that kid was or not the girl, but like the two boys. There's a really uncomfortable rape scene in it. I thought one of the boys was was like handicapped, like mentally handicapped.
The girl
It made that rape scene a little weirder for me.
Yeah, I forgot that. I was actually like, I was fixing buttered toast when the rape scene was going on, and
it's not that graphic, but it's just
it
fucking
wasn't
weird.
Yeah, and it wasn't because I butted it.
Yeah,
I fuck with rape scenes.
Oh gosh. But all right, that was Stir of Echoes.
We hear beats.
Day 13. The Lost Boys, The Tribe. The Tribe is the unwanted sequel from 2008 to a movie that didn't really need a sequel, but Warner Brothers had to have it their way. And I've seen worse movies, not gonna lie, but to be the sequel to one of the best, late 80s horror movies, this does not really hold a candle. And it's kind of basically just a rehash of the original. Instead of a family moving to a Californian town, it's a brother and sister moving to a different town, not Santa Carla, but Luna Bay. The brother was, I guess he was on his way to be a pro surfer, did some shit, lost all of his money, then his parents died, so he's basically got to do what he can to, get by, so he takes what little money he has left, and him and his sister moved to Luna Bay with the help of their aunt, who's a realtor in the movie, kind of playing the grandpa role, not really in the movie, but, keeping an eye on him, but not very well, because a few days in, they meet the vampire. Instead of a guy trying to date, the sibling's mother, it's another surfer guy who was pretty big, worldwide name, but just kind of dropped off the map. Well, he's just being a surfer bro and a vampire, just pretty much doing whatever the fuck he wants and wasting his time. He finds the main guy is like, hey, you should come hang out, meet the guys, as a ploy to, draw him in, get, build his numbers, but he really sees his little sister and is like, yeah, I'm going to get me some of that. So he invites him to a party, the brother doesn't want to go because, I don't know, the guy's kind of shady, and he also just kind of appears out of nowhere on him, and, he doesn't question it. Not one fucking bit. But, I'm not really going to describe the whole fucking movie. I think the evil lead surfer boy vampire, his name is Shane, he basically tricks the younger sister at a party to drink his blood, and thus kickstarting her vampire transition. Well, the brother's trying to stop it. he ends up, going back and finding Edgar Frog and is like, look, I need help. Please help me. And the fell dog helps, kinda. Talks about how his brother was also bitten, so he understands what it means to, lose a loved one to vampirism. So he does what he can to help the brother. He could do more, but he really doesn't till, I guess, towards the end. Well, either way, he tells the brother, oh, you've got to infiltrate their group and, tell me where they're hiding and shit. And he pretty much, he guesses where their hideout is, but doesn't, take action during the day when, it would be easy. Yeah, and it just leads to the brother becoming a vampire, but he's cool, though. Don't worry about him. He can handle his vampirism, unlike everyone the fuck else. As dog shit as this movie is, it's got some decent, blood effects and the gore were, I thought, done rather well. One cool part about it, I guess two cool parts about it, Tom Savini's in the beginning of this movie, and it kind of, he sees all the surfer boys at the beginning on his private beach, and basically tells them to fuck off, and when they don't, he fucking vamps out on them. They just laugh at him, vampire back at him, and proceed to rip him apart and cut his fucking head off. I thought that was cool. The other cool part, Edgar Frog tells him, the brother accidentally kills a vampire at one point. Very, very attractive Asian lady. Kills her much like a kill from the original movie. Gets her on the deer antlers, and she puffs into dust. And Edgar tells him earlier in the movie, when shit's just starting to hit the fan, he's like, yeah, every vampire goes out different. Some blow up, some implode, some turn to ash, some, melt. And the movie kind of sticks to, I'm not even going to say kind of, the movie sticks to it. Every vampire in this movie goes out a little bit differently. And it is, kind of entertaining. I was, that's kind of what all I had going through this movie. It was like, oh, let's see somebody die in a really cool way. And there were a few neat ones. I don't think we got the implosion. And I guess another cool part of this movie, how I said Corey Feldman, said how his brother was taken, turned into a vampire or whatever. We actually get to see the brother at the end of this. And I thought that was a neat touch, as a fan of the first movie. Well, apparently, there's also a little extended version of the end of the movie. It's an alternate scene. Apparently, there's two different versions. And Corey Haim shows up, reprising the role of Sam from the first movie, all grown up, saying how, oh no, your brother's coming to fuck you up. And then, bam, there's the other frog brother. And then apparently the other scenes, Sam shows up and he's like, look, I've been bit, help me. And boom, into the movie. And yeah, that movie kind of sucked. Let's just hope the next one's better. Day 14, The Lost Boys, Thirst. Again, this is another unwanted sequel to the unwanted franchise of The Lost Boys. Should have been one movie and left alone. But of course, times were rough in 2011 and 10 and 8 and probably further back for Corey Feldman. And I don't know if he really wanted this movie made or what. I know he was a fucking producer. So, hope that says something, because this movie is pretty Frog Brother centric. This installment of the franchise focuses on Edgar Frog. Of course, he's no longer in Luna Bay. He has moved to another place. I'm not going to look it up. I cannot be bothered. It's doing the same shenanigans, but he is somehow just a little bit more badass in this one. And he's not afraid to show it. This movie, again, kind of follows the steps of the original and the sequel, but kind of it tweaks it. They just tweak it a little bit. And this time around, it's a woman. She comes to Edgar and is like, oh my god, help, help. The vampires have got my little brother. Well, and they're going to have a rave. Oh, no. Like, help. And, of course, Edgar's like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll help. And mainly because drugs are involved this go around. Not really a drug. It's more like vampire blood, essentially. It's just fucking vampire blood. And everyone's doing it and getting fucked up. It's the new party drug, apparently. And this one mysterious DJ called DJ X has been going around the world throwing these lavish parties and, passing the drugs out. And it's cool. And apparently there was a lot of people who were into raves in 2011. Yeah. So, yeah, basically Corey has to figure out where this shit's going down. A, get the brother. B, kill a head vampire. Save everyone who's... Because I guess everyone who's taking the drug basically just needs to eat a person one time and boom, full-fledged vampire. But until then, we've got a bunch of little wannabe fucked up baby vampires. But, yeah, this movie sucks. Edgar and crew, another wannabe... He's not really a wannabe like... Well, Edgar's not a wannabe in this movie. Edgar is the shit. Helping him in this mission is the lady's first pick. He's not even a paranormal investigator. It's just like some dude who wrestles bears and alligators and just does, shit like that for YouTube. It's one of those types, reality TV star, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. Either way, they all weapon up, and go. They figure out where the rave is. Oh, and everyone's fucked up on the drugs. That's actually just vampire blood. And then shit hits the fan, and they're like, oh my god, there's the little brother. He's all doped up, and he's like chained to a table with IVs and shit in him, getting fed. And you think, oh, they're just doing that to keep him knocked out, sedated, and, fed up until the time where he's useful. And basically the vampires want to sacrifice him during a blood moon for some reason. Well, that reason becomes apparent after they kill DJ X for a pretty ridiculous fashion. And of course, this one follows in line with the original. I'm not even going to say the original. The second movie, and Edgar's brother. I forget the name of the actor. He was the other Frog brother in the original as well. He comes back. He's also a vampire, but he's got his shit under control, I guess, and he's helping Edgar. Then I'm talking, he comes back and helps with a sword fight. A 2-on-1 sword fight. Frog Brothers versus vampiric worldwide renowned DJ. I'm sad that those words had to come out of my mouth in that combination. But yeah, they have a massive sword fight. Corey's been walking around with like a grenade launcher that shoots holy water balloons at people. This movie's just fucking ridiculous. As you can tell, I'm having trouble just talking about it. Because, there's alien landmines they use. And, it's just dumb. And they kill DJ X. And they're like, oh my god, everyone's saved. And then, the movie pulls a little twist. DJ X was not the head vampire. He was a head vampire. But, they were fucking with an alpha. The alpha. The little brother that the lady from the beginning of the movie wants Corey to find was actually not her little brother. He is the goddamn alpha, I guess, since, the 9th century. They have a little flashback. And, yeah, he's super strong, and I guess he's the cause of all vampires. Vampires only started in, the 9th century. So, yeah, they proceed to fight. He somehow has the ability to control vampires. Because, the Frog Brother, who's been cool and hiding, for the last 20 plus fucking years, shows up to help his brother, then immediately turns on his brother. And then turns back. It's real fucking dumb. Corey kills the lead vampire. He cures vampirism worldwide. And then that's the movie. He's got sidekicks along the way. Some make it, some don't. And then I guess they were trying to tease for another movie. Because at the very end of this one, Corey's like, whoa, since I've killed all the vampires, I've been reading about every other paranormal thing in the world. Like, you know, about werewolves. And the little mousy bookshop owner / worker is like, oh yeah, I've heard of it. And then kind of like turns around to the camera and gives like a fucking her best impersonation of the end of the Thriller video. And then yeah, that's Lost Boys.